Okay, my question is, you get home and James is kind of being weird and, grabs you by the arm and you see him get his brains blown out and you go downstairs and go to sleep.
It sounds bad. I know it sounds bad, but if you take into consideration that I was up for like 72 hours and like now I just seen this guy's brains get blown out and like they go on to me, and then I'm just like in shock, and then I just like, and then I just pass out. It's not like I went to sleep. It's like.
Yes, sir.
Melody, I'm Anthony Pearson. I'm the prosecutor who indicted you for the charges and who is handling this case forward against you and Michael. This is your attorney, is that correct?
Yes.
Mr. Gleason, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And we have Lieutenant Robinson, you can't remember your name?
Detective Joe here.
And
Detective Tom.
okay. And Melody, I've spoken with your defense attorney a couple of times about this case and your willingness to talk to us about the situation regarding James Whitaker. Do you know James Whitaker?
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to be asking you some questions and ask you to tell me about the situation surrounding his death, okay? But before I have you talk about that, this is the concept that is most important. It's that you tell the truth, okay? That's the most important, and I cannot stress to you how important that is. 2 reasons. The first reason is we want to know what really happened and what you know, okay? That's important for us to know. We don't want to be on wild goose chases. We don't want to be prosecuting people who shouldn't be prosecuted. And we want to prosecute the people who actually committed the crimes, okay? So we want to know the scope of everything. These guys have been working day and night, busting their asses trying to figure out all of the pieces to this puzzle, okay? And as you know, there are a lot of pieces. But they know a lot of information about this case, probably more than what you think they know. They know a lot because they've lived it for quite some time now. The second reason why it is important for you to tell the truth and not lie to me today is that the more you lie, the less valuable you become to me. Because the entire conversation that you tell has to be turned over to the defense attorney, okay? Of Michael and whomever. So in the event that you lie to me today, I can't put you on the stand as a witness because they will just say, well, she lied. So how can you believe her? And what usually happens, I've been doing this for quite some time, what sometimes happens is I get a guy, a gangbanger, or someone who knows something about some crimes, and they get up there and they try and tell me some lies about what happened to either diminish their own responsibility or their friend's responsibility or their parents' responsibility, and they kind of tamp it down and think that they can lie to me. But each one of those lies, they become less valuable because I can't use them then. You know, does that make sense? And if you want to get a deal out of this, you're going to have to tell me the truth. I can't be catching you in lies. Because after a certain point in time of you lying to me, I'm going to pack up my stuff. You're not going to get any deal. And I'm just going to drive back to Columbus. Because I can't put a liar on the stand. Does that make sense? If at any point in time I'm asking you questions, and you want to talk it over with your attorney, just let me know. That's completely fine. We'll walk out of the room, we'll turn the recorder off, and you can talk to him about whatever, all right? But please do that before you lie to me, okay? Because I would like to use you if we can, but if not, if you lie to me, there's nothing I can do. You just become not valuable to me, okay? Okay. Any questions at all? So, I'm gonna have you just tell the story. Who is James Whitaker to you? How do you know this man? Where did you know him from? How did he come into your life? What happened?
Me and my ex-fiance went to go visit my dad, and my dad texted the address, or, I called grandma and she told me where dad was living, and I went to the house, and dad said he was living with his man for over 2 years, and that's the first time I met him, and
When was this? What year? Was this last year? Years ago? When was it?
last year in the end of March or April.
March of April of 2020 or 2019?
2020, because this year, yeah, because I graduated like a month after that.
Okay. So you believe you first met James April of 2020?
Probably in March.
Okay. April or end of March of 2020. Okay. Lieutenant, feel free to jump in. Anyone, feel free to jump in if you need to or want to. All right. So you were with your fiance, is that right?
Yes.
Who was your fiance at the time?
Austin Rose.
Austin.
Rose.
Okay.
Rose or Rose?
Rose, like flower.
Okay, Rose.
Where is he now?
Pomeroy?
Pomeroy?
Mhm.
Do you guys still talk?
No.
All right. So talk to me about that.
But today I met him.
Yeah.
Well, we basically just went inside, I went inside first because Austin and Dad really didn't get along, so I went inside and we were talking for a bit, and Dad introduced me to James. Said they'd been living together for about 2 years, and I said, well, let me go outside and get Austin, because he was sitting in the car and it was nighttime. I was like, I don't know what time it was, but it was getting dark, so I went out and got him. We went in the house, and we had weed with us, so we asked if everyone wanted to smoke, so we smoked for a little bit, and then we got even later, and Austin had to work the next day, so Austin said we had to leave, so we left that day.
Okay. How old are you now, Melody?
19.
When's your birthday?
August 17th.
All right, let's fast forward a bit. Did you end up living with your dad and James? How'd that come about?
I went to go visit my dad one day when Austin stayed home, because it's a long trip from where we lived to Dad, so he wanted to stay home and work on some stuff. And I went there and I asked Dad if he could get anything, and he said yes. And I was like, I wanted to leave Austin because he said he didn't want to marry a pillhead. So I was like, well, if I could live with Dad and do all this and not really having anything to like take care of and stuff, and that's better, I guess. Lots of time, so I drove home the next day and he said, hey babe, and I was like, hey, and he just knew from what I said at that, it was like over, so. And then I moved in with them, they came down and hooked,
Mm-hmm.
and did my shit.
Where were you living before?
With Austin?
Yeah.
I don't know the exact address, but it's like right outside of Pomeroy at Long Bottom.
Now, you said, were you using drugs at the time? You said Austin said he didn't want to be with the pill head.
Well, I just started getting back into it like last month that we were together.
Okay. What were you taking at that time? What were you using?
Just, I don't really know, I just got what people give me.
Okay. Were you using meth?
No, not at that time, no.
Were you smoking crack? Cocaine?
Just pills and weed.
Okay. So oxys and that sort of thing?
I never done oxygen. There's like opioids and stuff. Like,
Vicodin or
yeah.
hydrocodone?
Yeah. And so you moved in with, do you remember what time, what month that was that you moved in with James and your dad?
It was like a couple weeks before graduation.
Okay.
Like, in the middle of April maybe? Maybe towards the end.
That would have been 2019.
I thought it was 2021.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't. That's good. If you think I'm wrong on something, certainly correct me. Okay. Oh, okay, right. So that was just a couple of weeks after you had first met James, right? So you end up coming back to that place and moving in. Did you and James get along or not?
At first we did, but like he talked too much. Like he was lonely and craving for attention kind of way. And him and Dad and like they were like okay, but they got in arguments a lot. So,
About what?
like petty things. Dad not doing like she was bossed out around a lot. Like he was his bitch, as you just said.
James bossed your dad around?
Yeah.
Okay. So your dad was James's bitch? Is that what you were saying? Okay. And again, I thought that's what you said, so those aren't my words. If you think I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, okay? But that's kind of how you felt about it? Okay. Did they ever get into any fights?
Well, not physically, anything like they just yelled at each other and screamed and stuff.
What about threats?
There was a lot of times where James had a couple guys or whatever at house, and like Dad would take money and stuff sometimes, or whenever we went up to Lancaster to get pain pills off his mom, Dad would like take a couple of them, and I think that's why he would say that he was going to kill Dad and do him a favor, like and stuff. And there was one time I got, kind of angry about that, and I said, threaten my family one more time, and like, you know what I'm saying? And I went downstairs and well, I had a bow, and I was like real fucked up on meth, and that turns me into a different person. I mean, that's no excuse, but I'm just like letting you know, like, I'm a different person whenever I do meth, and I get violent. And I went downstairs and I got my bow, and I was like, don't threaten to kill someone, and especially my family. And I was like going off, and of course Dad gets in the middle, and he's like, Melody, you don't want to do this. You don't know how it's like to end someone's life. So I threw my bow down and I went outside. Because I always left the house a lot to go over to Kenny's or something to get stuff and just to get away from James. So, because I mean, at first he was okay, but then he started saying that he wanted a relationship with me and everything, and I'm just like, and I told him, I was like, there's this guy in prison, his name's James Ashmore, and he reminded me a lot of this person, and I told him so. And
Okay. There's a James Ashmore. What's the guy's name in prison?
James Ashmore.
Okay. He reminds you of James Whitaker?
James Whitaker reminds me of James Ashmore. Just like,
Okay.
Why?
I mean, it's gonna sound weird, but like, they kind of look alike, and they're born in the same year. And whenever I was like high, certain times, like James Whitaker would like do certain things, and then I told him like, you remind me of, okay, like James Ashmore's in prison for like raping me, so I told him like, you remind me of the person that raped me, and he got all mad about it. And it's like, you said that, like, you have no heart, and I'm like, well, it's true. And then he started like blowing up my phone like all the time whenever I wasn't home. And it's like obsessive and weird.
Whitaker would do this?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have a sexual relationship with James Whitaker?
No.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Did you guys ever kiss?
No.
Not even a kiss.
There's a couple times where Dad had to help me out in the bathroom because I couldn't move. And he like came up behind me and I freaked out, and I was like, why did you do that, Dad? And he was like, and James told me later that they agreed behind my back, which kind of pissed me off, that they were going to have a threesome with me, and I was like, that really pissed me off, but I didn't want that.
Your dad arranged that?
Well, I guess they both did. But I told him, no, I ain't fucking doing that because...
Now this is when you were on drugs or were you not?
I mean, the entire time I lived there, I was on drugs.
What were you taking when you were there? What drugs were you on?
Meth and all the different pills like perks and Valiums and Pikes and a couple other different kinds of pain pills. And meth was the main one, but
All right. Again, Melody, I want you to remember the importance it is to tell the truth, okay? I'd rather that you tell me you don't want to talk about that than you lie, okay? I'm sorry?
do you think I'm lying?
Possibly.
Melody, your body language completely changed when I asked you
Possibly.
that. Okay. So just tell the truth.
I understand it's very difficult.
I don't think I understand.
We understand it's difficult. I don't understand what you went through. But I understand talking about it would probably be very difficult.
Yeah.
But I do not understand what you went through.
There's Melody, a lot of things that you're going to tell us We already know. Okay.
Let's pick back up. Michael said that he and James wanted to have a threesome with you, right?
Yes.
Did that ever happen?
No.
Um, how long had you had a sexual relationship with Michael?
And the first thing that happened was when I got taken out of mom's custody and put in grandma's custody back in 2017. I was 16, and I think that's the first time I tried meth, and Bubby was in the trailer with us.
Who's that?
My brother, Michael.
Okay. So you're 16 and had used meth, is that right?
Yeah.
Where did you get the meth from?
Dad.
How many times did that happen?
The meth using, or?
The sex with Michael.
And when I was 16, like, between 4 and 6 times. I was there from like, I don't know. I was only at grandma's for like 2 months.
So between 4 and 6 times. Were you on meth every single time? Or no?
No, he would like mix these 2 pills together, a yellow one and a orange one, and like I would like wake up hours later and I'm not no shit. But
Do you know what kind of pills they were?
you know, I just know what they look like. I mean, at that time I really didn't care for, like, I didn't care what it was as long as, because I was like going through a difficult time at that time. So I was like wanting to take whatever, so I was like, I didn't really care about what I took, so he just didn't really tell me.
And how many times after that did it happen when you weren't at your grandmother's? Like, did that start to happen when you started to live with him and James?
Yeah.
About how many times?
I don't know more than I can count. Like, so it's gonna sound like kind of messed up, but I'm just gonna, say it. So like, so like, for like years of my life, whenever you try to say no, and then like men are on top of you and you can't push them off, and then whenever I would tell my dad no, he would stop and he would respect that. So that's why I thought it was. That's why I thought it was okay, because he would always stop when I said no.
You realize it wasn't okay? You know that now? You also realize it wasn't your fault? Because it wasn't, okay? It was not okay. It wasn't your fault. He's a grown-ass man, you should know better. Let's fast forward to when James was killed, okay? Talk to me about how that day went.
We were at Kenny's most of the day. And I was working on some kind of building that Kenny was working in a garage or something. And we didn't get home till around 4 a.m. Because, well, we always stay up that late when we're doing and that obviously keeps up for a long time, but, we get home and like, I can't remember if I opened the door or if Dad opened the door, but whenever we went inside, James was up in the kitchen area, like he walked up like 4 or 5 steps. Just like, here's the front room, and then you go up and it's the kitchen. And he was like up there, and he started screaming, saying, get the, like, you know, like stuff like, I can't really quote for it, but like stuff like, get the fuck out of my house, or something about off my property, and I'm tired of your shit, Michael, and other stuff, which he's done this before, you know, like screaming and stuff, and he had a gun in his hand. He's done this before, so I didn't think nothing of it.
What type of gun did he have? Can you describe it?
It was a long gun, and it had just, I mean, I don't know what kind of gun it was, but I just know it was like a rifle looking thing, and it had designs kind of etched into the wood.
Okay.
That's all I really know. Because like he showed it to us before, so, I mean, I don't really know what it's called.
Okay, that's fine. You're not a gun person. Okay. But you know it's a long gun. Do you know the difference between a rifle and a shotgun? Okay, go ahead. So you had this gun in his hand. And what happened after that, Melody?
Well, I had pee real bad, so you have to go up the stairs to the left to get to the bathroom, and he was like right there. And I like got by him because he was screaming at Dad, so he wasn't really paying me much mind. And I was gonna go past him to use the restroom. But then I was like, well, it's getting kind of serious, so I turned back around before I got to the restroom, and that's when he turned to me and grabbed me on the forearm. That,
Your right forearm?
yeah.
Okay.
And, like this, you know what I'm saying? Like, like this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And,
But you just grabbed your forearm, right?
yeah, and when I did that, his hand came off.
Okay, yeah, you did that.
And then his hand went to my neck, and that's when I was like, you know, we're freaking out, and he was saying something. He said, where do you think you're going? That was before he grabbed my neck. It was me up for him. So where do you think you're going? I'm going with Dad. He said, we're first to leave, right? He's like, you're not going anywhere. I'm like, well, I'm the one who always drives Dad around, you know, because I have a license and stuff. But anyway, and he said I wasn't going anywhere. And I heard Dad go down the steps. And James looked in the direction Dad was at. I didn't see Dad, but it was Dad because I heard him come back up the steps. And that was pretty bad.
That's on what?
And Dad shot him in the eye. I think it was the right one. I think it was the right one, yeah.
What was James doing when your dad shot him?
He had took one step back from me and looked to where Dad was standing. But there's a shelf and I couldn't see Dad. But he could see Dad. And
So he let go of you and took a step back?
Mhm.
You said at one point he grabbed your neck, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
But he heard Dad come back up. Like Dad was running up the steps straight so he could hear it.
Mhm.
He took one step back and looked over. And like I felt the bullet I mean, I didn't feel it going in, but like I felt the wind off of it, kind of.
Okay.
Cause that's how close he was. And then, he kind of just stood there for a minute. I was shocked. And then he stumbled back and slid down to the floor against the refrigerator. And he was still moving. And Dad ran up. He turned off the lights. I remember he turned off the lights.
Your dad turned off the lights?
Yeah.
Okay. What was James saying? Was he saying anything after he got shot? Did your dad say anything before he came up and shot James in the eye? Were you saying anything? As he's, grabbed you and said, "Where are you going? Where do you think you're going?"
I said, with my dad. And I was like, with Dad. And he said, no, you're not going anywhere. Or something along those lines.
They turned the lights off before or after he shot?
After.
After. You said the eye. How do you know the eye? Did you actually see the impact at that point?
After he got shot, I seen him get shot.
So you actually saw him get shot in the eye? You said it was a red eye?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He didn't have a t-shirt on.
I'll see you that.
He had jean shorts on.
Who had jeans shorts on?
What you say, Mike?
James.
Do you know what day that was?
I'll see you Tuesday.
I'm not 100%, but I thought it was the 5th or something like that. I mean, I told you guys it was the 5th, but I'm not 100 about it. What?
So, okay. When did you go to the neighbors?
It was earlier that day. I read that in the statement. I needed gas to go to the gas station to get gas to go to Kenny's to get more stuff. But then, this was before he got shot. And I just want to clarify, like, that blood stain they saw was not a blood stain. It was a yellow spot from where I threw it down, and it had been left for like a while. It just had a stain on it. And I just want to, that wasn't blood. I just want to clarify that.
That stain is from what?
I don't know. It was a yellow stain, like a dark yellow stain. I don't know what it was from.
Okay, so that's something you had dropped earlier. I thought you said you had dropped. Did you make the stain?
No, I had left it. I'm very clumsy, not clumsy. I'm very not organized. So like when I take clothes off, I just throw it on the floor.
Right.
And then I threw it on the floor in the basement. And then it was like weeks later when I went to go, wash it, and the stain won't come out. So I still wore it because I didn't really have anything else to wear. So. And then I walked over there to ask for gas to go to Kenny's house to get more shit. But they didn't have any, so I walked over to Dad's and tried to suck gas out of the cars. I don't remember how we got to Kenny's that day though. But I know we did because we came back and from Kenny's. So everything happened.
Who is King?
Kenny and Ryan.
How do you know him?
He's his dad's friend. Like, you're not gonna go give him drug charges or anything, right?
That's not our intention, no.
Okay. Well, he's this person that I got met from. He would usually give it to me and Dad for free, but because I work for him and I just had his daughter, so.
Alright, so, James gets shot. He's sliding down. He's got a shot to the eye. What happens then? What happens next?
Dad turns off the lights and he comes over and I can't remember in what order it was, but he was asking me if I was alright or okay, and I didn't answer him, and James was on the floor twitching. And so I had a gun in his hand, and I was screaming at Dad to get the gun away. So Dad, get the fucking gun, and
James still had a gun in his hand. Or your dad, or both.
I think Dad still had his too. And he said, no, Melody, he's dead. And I was like, I don't fucking care, get the gun away from him. Like, he could pop up in a minute and shoot me or whatever. And Dad said, no, Melody, his fucking brains are going out. But he still kicked it away because I wanted to stop yelling until he got the gun away.
Okay, then what else?
And then he said, go downstairs. And I went because I was still like around because when he was like pulling the hard butt out of his I don't know if hard butt was pulling around him. So Dad grabbed me by the arm and kind of like dragged me downstairs and sat me on the bed. And I lay down and he turned off the lights and said, go to bed, I'll take care of it.
Okay, and what did you do?
I think I passed out because that's all I remember. And I woke up like the evening the next day and Keith was there. And he said, I helped your dad reorganize the kitchen. And I'm like, what? Like, I know Dad won't tell Keith stuff because he's, I don't know.
Who was Keith?
Well, I don't know his last name, but he was a buddy of James and Dad's. But I'm assuming that Dad had already cleaned up everything before Dad let him help him with the kitchen, but that's just assuming, I don't know.
Okay. And then what happened?
They showed me the kitchen, how they reorganized it, and then we went outside because they were working on Keith's car, which I don't understand because Dad said if they were working on it all night, and I was like, well, we didn't get home till 4 a.m. So they might have meant all day because I didn't wake up till 7 p.m.
Okay, my question is, you get home and James is kind of being weird and, grabs you by the arm and you see him get his brains blown out and you go downstairs and go to sleep.
It sounds bad, I know it sounds bad, but if you take into consideration that I was up for like 72 hours and like, then I just seen this guy's brains get blown out and like they go on to me. And then I'm just like in shock, and then I just like, and then I just pass out. It's not like I went to sleep, it's like,
So you wake up, at what point do you say, Dad, what did you do with James's body? When do you say that?
I didn't really ask him, when we were alone, because he didn't say anything, but he said, he took care of it, and he burned the body, because I went outside, and one day it was like, because he did it multiple days, he didn't just burn his body one day, I think he did it for like almost a week, and I was outside cleaning out one of the cars, and he was over there sitting down by the burn pile and it was lit up.
What did you think he burned James's body over the course of a week? Did he tell you this? Or did you just see fire in a pit over the course of a week? What made you think that
It's
it was?
like he told me, and then I went outside after doing a line.
You went outside after what?
After doing a line, and I was going to tell him that there was some stuff on the kitchen table for him, and he had gloves on. He had a jawbone and stuff in his hand, and just showed it to me. So I just went back inside because I didn't want to see it.
Did
He told me he was going to. He told me afterwards he smashed it with a hammer. Because he said that they won't be able to identify him.
You say he was holding the jawbone with the gloves?
Well, I don't know if it was a jawbone, but they're just pieces of bones.
What did it look like?
There's like one like. I mean, it looked like a jawbone.
Yeah.
But I didn't see no teeth.
Something that would look like a jawbone to you, but you didn't see the teeth. Did he say anything about it, or did he just show it to you? Did he say, look, this is James's face, his jaw, his anything?
He told me he was going to smash up the jawbone and the teeth so they wouldn't recognize him. And I said, okay. And I turned right back around and I went inside. And I told him that there's, I am waiting for him.
What was lying in there waiting on?
Meth.
Where were you at when you saw your dad with the jawbone? Or with the bone you thought was the jawbone?
In the front porch. Like I had just walked out and was on the edge of the front porch when he walked up.
So like the end of the sidewalk,
And I'm
little walkway,
like the wooden part, I wasn't even off that yet.
so you were still on the front porch. And he was towards the roadway then, right? Towards like the garage?
Like, no, by the time I walked out, he was like a couple feet from the porch. And he was putting behind like this walking. He had gloves on.
Where you got?
My dad?
Yes.
I just told him about the money back inside. I don't want to watch that stuff.
Did you tell which direction he went to or was going to?
I think he was going to do it on the porch because that's the direction he was walking when I came out.
Did you ever see it again?
Yeah.
You know what he did with it?
Well, he told me he smashed them up.
What would he do with them after he smashed them up?
I don't know. And he was trying to say that Grandpa gave him this idea. And I'm just like, Grandpa would never do that. He's not the type of person. He is a good person. And he's not a violent person at all. I don't understand why you guys are putting him in it. Do you guys want to tell me why it is?
You don't have to.
Okay.
I mean, Grandpa to lie about it. That's why. That's all it was.
So, this is the next day where you see the jawbone, right?
I don't think so. It was like a week later
Oh, okay.
because I would imagine it takes a long while to get a body down to that point.
Alright. So, what else happened between that time? Between, after you wake up and Kenny is there, Keith is there, and, do you see fires that your dad is burning over the course of a week in that burn pit?
Yeah.
How many fires did you see over that time period? Was it daily?
Yeah. So, but like, when you start a fire, it usually stays lit for a long time.
Alright, what else happened, Melody?
After that, it was pretty much just all that happened, or all you were seeing, because he came in, he didn't have no gloves on or anything, and there was no more fires after that, so.
At some point in time, you knew that the police were looking for you, right? Did you ever find that out?
On the 27th, when the daughters came and the mom and told us that we had to get out and we couldn't stay there no more until James was found. And that's when they told us to leave, and then after we got a couple of things, they said, no, wait for the cops to show up, and of course we didn't wait. And we drove.
Exactly who told you to wait?
I think it was Jennifer.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm not 100%, but she was one of the daughters and she was the bigger one, so I think it was Jennifer.
The day before that, when the deputy showed up at your house, remember that?
About shooting a gun.
Do you recall that? Why did you tell them that day about Jimmy, what happened? Because I think they even asked about the homeowner.
No, he didn't.
Did they ask about whose house it was, something along that line?
I don't recall that. Well, the night that it happened, I told Dad, like, should we call the cops or police or whatever, and he said, no, the system's fucked up, I'd go to jail anyway. And that's when he was still lying there. But, I mean, I agreed with him because the system is kind of fucked up in a way sometimes. I mean, it's like nothing against you guys, it's just a lot of things happen.
So you suggested that Michael called the police and he didn't want to because the justice system is fucked up, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Do you think if you did call the police, 911, EMS, you think Jimmy could have been saved? So why is that?
I mean, just looking at him, I just don't think that would have been possible. Because, I mean, my gun would, I mean, you get shot in the head, not many people survive from that. He was, a lot of blood came out and it was seconds, and it was just like, I don't think it would have.
Why, you had opportunities to call the police, right? And you didn't?
Like, if you think about it like this, like, what if it was you and your dad shot somebody because someone else had a gun to your head? You're going to go to the cops and be like, oh, my dad was protecting me and him killed this person. And I felt like that would be messed up on my end because he, like, was just protecting me and I mean, the only reason you guys are looking at it different, I feel, is because of the relationship, if you want to call it that, between me and Dad. And if it was any other way, you would have thought this is a parent protecting their child.
You had said that, James had done this often though, right?
Yeah, but he never grabbed me. He would always, I'm gonna fucking kill you, I'm not gonna do you a favor. I mean, he always had that long gun. He said he always had it loaded he said he felt like people were trying to kill him throughout the night. But I think it was just a meth talking, but
Gee. Melody, you've said this before, that it was no big deal. James has done this before. And just a little while ago, you said the same thing, that when he first walked in, he was yelling. He didn't think it was any big deal, because James has done this before. So why? So why do you think it's any different? Why do you think, why the change? Why did suddenly Mike have to get a gun and shoot James? If James had done this many times before.
he never put his hand on me like that before. I mean, he had his hand around my throat and he had his guns up and he never pointed his gun at me before. It was always towards Dad.
So you're not saying he pointed a gun at you this time though, right? The gun wasn't pointed at you, correct? He just had it in his hand, is that right?
Or the way he had it in his hand, like if it went off, it probably would have hit me. But I don't know if he had it pointed at me intentionally. Like at the beginning, I told you guys that he had it pointed at me. But now that I think about it, if it would have went off, it would have shot me. But I don't know if he intentionally did that. But I'm not trying to like say anything bad about him because he's dead. But he was a very mounted. He wasn't that good of a person, in my opinion. I mean, he'll just drug someone up that. Did he shot the other gram?
Who did he drug up?
Well, I don't have proof, but I felt like he dug him up over multiple times when Dad went to count pills or whatever he was doing. I couldn't move. I couldn't move my mouth. I couldn't talk. It was like I just couldn't move, and then he would like do certain things. So. And Dad was always a pussy about it. Every single time I told him, he was like, "Well, I told you how he is around women."
So your dad didn't do anything about that?
Mm-hmm.
But you did tell Michael about that, right?
Yeah.
About how many times did that happen?
I don't know, like just like 4 times maybe.
Melody, I have a question. I'm sorry I have to ask because it's a detailed, graphic question. But when Jim got shot, you said he had the gun. He got shot. Where did the gun fall or go to your dad? So he still had his hand on the gun? Was the gun laying in blood? Was there? I mean, I guess there's a lot of blood. Was there blood on the gun? Was there blood all over Jimmy?
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't really looking at the gun at that point. I was more looking at James. Because he was moving still, you know. I felt like he was still going to get back up. So, I don't know.
So you had gotten back from Kenny's, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you had gotten meth. Were you on meth at the time?
Yeah. I don't think there was a time when I was there that I
Was your dad on that at the time?
Yeah.
Is that part of the reason why you may have passed out, or did you have been up on meth for a long period of time?
I don't know why I did, but I feel like that had a part to do with it. But I think it was mainly you know when they say that like after you like see stuff you get like your brain is exhausted in a certain way?
Yeah.
That's what I would say on top of being up for like 72 hours or however long I was up.
Melody, when did you cut your hair?
About 2 days before I came in.
No, I'm not talking about, I guess. Before you came in where?
Before I came in jail.
About 2 days before you came in.
I think it might have been 3 or. I know what. When I moved there, everything was very cluttered, and I couldn't find my brush, and I don't even know why. So I didn't think just go buy one, and I didn't want to use anyone else's brush. I just don't know why it makes me think like I'm fucking retarded because like I just let my hair get all matted and like really bad over the course of like 3 months, and then when I tried to brush it and I finally got a brush, I think it was from one of my siblings or I found mine when I went to go visit them or something. I worked on it for like 8 hours. I was like strung out on meth, so I didn't have nothing else better to do. And when you're on meth, you can do one thing for a long time. So I was like trying to work on my hair for like 8 hours, and then I couldn't get it undone. So when Dad was asleep, I took a shower and took out a pair of scissors and just chopped it off in the shower. So
What'd you do with that hair?
I don't know. I put it in this plastic tub. I don't know if I threw it away or.
Was this after the shooting? That you're talking about that movie?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did your dad ever say, did your dad ever give you any details of what he did other than he got rid of it?
He told me he burned it and he smashed the jawline in the teeth.
That's the only details he said.
Did you help Mike at all with that body? Because we've heard that quite a bit. Did you help your dad move Jimmy at all?
No.
Because we've heard that repeatedly from a lot of people
But
where,
were these people there?
that's what I'm asking you.
No.
Okay, so that time you helped him move, drag, push, pull, nothing?
No.
And nothing with helping him burn the body. I think he told me earlier, not today, but back then, that you were shooting a bow towards the fire pit, and the bow went over.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you saw the fire pit.
Not the first time, no, this
the
was
first
like
time.
way later after it happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, did you ever help him in the fire pit at all, being down there?
No.
To help him with the acetone or anything you used to fuel?
No. Whenever he's sitting down, he had a container near him, and I saw that. and I was cleaning out the car, but I feel like he deliberately made sure I didn't help him. At least I would like to believe that, because I want him to care, but obviously he doesn't, so.
Did he ask you to help him at all?
No.
So the only conversations that you had with your dad in the 3 weeks before, roughly 3 weeks before the 25th, when the family showed up.
They did show up in 20, we,
25th, 26th, I don't know what the day is without looking, but it was a few weeks, actually. So the only conversations that you had with your dad about Jimmy in those few weeks was Jimmy's burnt body. And then when he walked up with a jawbone in his hand, or which he thought was a jawbone, that's the only two conversations you had with him about Jimmy the entire time?
well, there was one time when we were sitting at the table, and he looks at my son, and he points up, and I look up, and it was like that big. And he said, oops, I missed a spot.
You're referring to the kitchen ceiling? You made like a circle floating gesture, so you're saying that there's a spot on the wall? Like a splatter or like a spot?
It was like a spot, I think.
Splat?
But it was like in a round, it was round, like, yeah.
Okay, so then that conversation where you missed the splatter on the wall or the splat on the ceiling, that's the only three conversations you guys had the entire time?
I mean, he might have made a few remarks about burning it, like, I mean, I'm not trying to say this to make him sound like he's a sociopath, because he's not. He does have feelings, but like, he like sometimes make like jokes a little bit.
You say jokes like you like laughing about it, like oh there's some blood on the wall or something like that. Did you ever joke to him about it?
No, but whenever he saw the splash on the wall, he started laughing, and I started laughing too. But I don't think it was because I thought it was funny, because I didn't think it was funny, if that's what you're inferring. Because, do you guys think it does affect me?
I believe it affects you.
Absolutely.
A lot of things affect you.
Melody, you said back at the beginning when you started talking about you had your bow and your dad told you not to do that. And your dad made some kind of statement to you. Has your dad said that he'd ever hurt or killed anyone before?
Yeah.
Who?
He never gave me a name.
Say when?
Huh?
Did you say when?
It was between, when I went to foster care and when I came back to live with him 2 years later.
It'll be 2017 to 2019,
2020.
2020, or I'm sorry, yeah, so it'll be 2018 to 2018.
Well, we knew this little girl. She's like the sweetest little thing, but do you know Tommy Khan? It's his daughter. And when I was 16, she was very outgoing. And I mean, she was my favorite out of all his kids, but whenever I came back and we went to go buy some stuff off Tommy, she was a completely different little girl. You know, Dad said that she was messed with. And Tommy was gonna go kill the person, and he got too scared, and they went to his house. So Dad did it for him. And he said no one was looking for him because he's a type of person and no one's going to look for him.
What did he do with the body?
He never gave me any details, so I said,
Do you have a name?
mm-hmm.
Do you have a first name?
I don't have anything except that.
What's that?
And he told me not to repeat it to anyone, so
Did he give you any details about it?
no, I asked him and he said don't worry about it, you don't need to know.
So it's Tony Tom's daughter. Which one?
The youngest one?
Do you know her?
Do you know her name?
No, it's been so long. And I just referred to her as a little baby, so.
He has 3 daughters, right?
I think Mercedes is the oldest one.
Melody, there's a video on your phone. You know, police officers retrieved your phone. Looks like there's sexual contact between you and your father. Would that be accurate or no?
Yes.
When, between the time that, James was killed, was there any talk of like running and hiding from the police or anything like that? With Michael? No?
Well, there was one time when I told him that I wanted to leave the house because it was probably just drugs, but like, and I kept seeing him. And I couldn't like walk around the house by myself. So I wanted to leave. But he said that we couldn't because we had nowhere to go. And wanted to get all this stuff ready, and he was always fucking procrastinator, and he never did. And never wanted me to go visit Mom because they hate each other. I couldn't get away to go visit Mom that much. I never really left because every single time I tried to leave, because there's been a couple times I want to leave because he drove me past the point of being crazy. He said he was going to kill himself if I ever left, and I didn't want to leave because I didn't want him to kill himself.
Anything else, man?
Yeah. No, going back to your dad. I mean, we heard some hints of information about that. Regarding what happened to Tommy's daughter. I can't think of the guy's name in front of me. Do you remember where that happened at? Huh?
Or what happened with Ruth?
That killed the other guy.
He just said at his house, and he said that it wasn't around here, it was at the dude's house, that's all he said.
Do you see anything else about that?
No. I don't think he shot him, because I don't think that's the way he killed him.
What makes you think that?
Because he said he made him Like, being paid. Stuff, right?
What way?
Huh?
In what way?
You didn't give me no information.
Didn't say anything you want.
What else did he say about it?
That's all he said. I kept asking questions because I wanted to know who would do that to a little baby.
Yeah.
Like, she was like 3 at the time.
Do you know,
When we started talking about, back at the beginning, we were talking about relationships with James. And your posture changed with us when I asked you about your relationship with James. Did you have sex with James?
When I first went to their house, I didn't have sex with anybody because I still love Austin, and whenever I would do stuff with my dad, like I wouldn't let him kiss me, and I didn't want to look at him because I wanted it to be Austin, and I fucked that out with him. And there did come one point in time where me and Jimmy are in the front room talking, and I told him, I was like, if anything was to happen, I told him, I was like, I have 2 requests if anything was to happen. I told him, I was like, you're not allowed to kiss me, I don't want to look at you. But that never happened. It was kind of confusing because when I told Dad about it, he wouldn't do anything about it, but then he'd get all about whenever I felt like I was drugged up, and he wouldn't do anything about it, but yet he talked to Jimmy and said that he didn't want me around him or whatever. But Dad would always make some kind of freaking excuse or somehow get out of it or make me be alone with Jimmy. Like whenever I wanted to go downstairs with him to help count pills or whatever he was doing down there. He's like, oh, stay up here, it'll only be a minute, and then it'll take a half an hour. Like, and then he'd bitch at me for like, oh, you're spending way too much time alone with Jimmy. And I'm like, motherfucker, like, first of all, I don't even want to be around him. And then you make me in those predicaments where I can't get out of it.
So, you never did have sex with Jimmy? But your dad was making you be in this position?
I don't think he, like, forced me to do it. It's just like he always had a reason to leave me alone with him.
So your dad put you in those positions? Is that what I'm understanding?
I mean, it sounds kind of fucked up when you put it that way.
He didn't force you, but he put you there. Is that correct?
Yeah.
How many times did you have sex with your dad at the house, at Jimmy's house? You said it was more than you could count. Are we talking, and I can't count that high. Are we talking 20, 30, hundreds?
40.
30, 40. And that was at Jimmy's house.
My Aunt Michelle told me, Michelle's dad's sister, she told me that, because me and her were having a conversation after James got put in prison. And she'd like to let me know how she knows how I feel. She told me that Dad did the same thing to her, but she forgave him for it when they were younger.
And who was that?
Michelle, my aunt, his sister, when they were younger. And I was talking to Grandma one time, and she said, I don't want you out there alone with your dad. And I was like, why? And she was insinuating sexual things. And I was like, why would you even think of your son like that? And of course, I was just like putting on shows. I didn't want anyone to know that. But
Did you have sex with your dad before, when you were 16? Before that?
before I was 16,
Yeah, you said when you came home, you said you first tried meth and had sex with your dad. Did you ever have sex with your dad, or did your dad ever molest you before 16, that time?
not that I remember. My mom told me a few things, but I don't think she's telling the truth. So,
But you don't know of any time other than then, which I
well,
think was,
my parents split up when I was 6, and I didn't really get to see him until I was 16.
alright, that was back in 2017 then. Is that still, am I right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Melody, did your dad say anything about how he disposed of James' body besides burning it? Did he indicate anything about how he disposed of it? Did he indicate how he got it out of the house?
No. People wonder why he didn't tell me certain things. I just feel like it's better off for me not to know, and that's why he didn't tell me.
And the TV that was in the house, what happened to that?
We took it over to Jeff's house. Jeff and Kenny's son, and we traded to him for a little motorbike and some pills, a touchscreen radio thing.
Was there anything else taken out of the house after Jimmy's death?
And 2 guns.
Two guns, what happened to those?
One with the Tommy and one with the rifles.
Do you know which gun was which?
Tommy got James's, and Grandpa, well, John got Dad's.
And you know that? You for sure on that, you know that personally?
Oh, I don't know. Both the guns I thought looked pretty much the same, but I know each of them got one. But Dad said that he wanted to keep his, so that's why he gave Tommy James's.
When we say Tommy, who are you saying? Who's Tommy?
Tommy Con.
Was there anything else taken out of the house besides the 2 guns and the TV?
Not that I know.
Had there been prior things that were taken out of the house, resold by Mike? Traded?
Tools. Not like stuff out in the garage, like the weed or maybe just tools.
That day, when you guys went to Amorine's home, Did you guys take a lot of food out of the house that James would have purchased? Did you take a cooler? Something like
And
that?
he took all the items Dad had downstairs, our 2 dogs, great grandpa's necklace and rings, my tassel, just like stuff that I really wanted. And then Dad got some stuff, but the only thing I saw him grab was the guns, so.
Just one?
Well, not the ones that we gave the Tony and Grandpa. Just the camouflage muzzle loaders. There was the black one and then there's a camouflage one. He might have the 22, I don't remember.
Was there knives?
I don't know if he grabbed them. I know I have a knife, but that was mine, so.
The day of the shooting, the following day after the shooting, that early morning, you got up late?
Like 7 something maybe. It was like kind of dusky outside.
It was right at evening, and Keith was there. And it's,
Did Keith know what happened?
I don't think so. No. I would say no.
did Keith tell you why they rearranged the kitchen?
No. They said it looked better, but
Did he indicate that he cleaned up anything or noticed anything?
no. They said they cleaned the dishes and cleaned the kitchen and rearranged it.
They
But
didn't-
what I don't know is if he helped move the refrigerator, how did he help Gabby move it? Because that's where the blood went under. I feel like if he helped move it, there has to be blood on the wheels or something, and he had to have seen that. And that's not what, I don't understand that.
But he never indicated anything to you about it.
No.
And you never helped clean up the upstairs after the death.
Mhm.
You didn't dispose of anything that would have been, had evidence on it, and blood on it or anything like that?
I took off my dress, I had blood on it.
What happened with that?
The guy said he burned it, so I gave it to him.
Was that the only thing that you had on that evening that you didn't burn?
Was that the white spaghetti strap shirt, Chris?
Mhm.
The shirt that had the stain on it, that was next door the night before. You said that you wore to Kenny's, they take it.
Mhm.
Where did that shirt go?
It was the dress.
That was the same dress?
Mhm.
So you had it on the next morning when you got home, that night?
Yeah.
I think we're good.
I don't have anything else.
Go ahead.
I just wanna say, I have no idea how difficult this was for you to talk to us, let alone what you've gone through. I'm praying for you. I hope you can get some counseling.
We'll take this information. 4 of us will discuss and I'll be back to you. Okay?
Thank you.
Thanks for sitting down with us, Melody.
I have a few minutes prepared to move along, do it, right? Thank you.